Good day, class, especially to our esteemed instructor, Miss Perlita Sumalino. So, allow me to introduce myself. I am teacher Christian Recta. So, how's your day, class? Is it okay?
Yes.
Have you eaten your lunch already?
Yes, teacher.
Oh, that's good. So today, we will be learning and exploring more about organizing and managing group. But before we begin to discuss this topic, I would like to hear your thoughts or insights about organizing and managing group. Who has any ideas? Yes, Lucas? Oh, very good. Give her a round of applause. So, you also have a point when sharing what you understand. Can you read, everyone? Very good. So, this statement explains the importance of organizing a multi-grade classroom to facilitate effective learning. So, it also highlights that since students of different levels are in the same class, we as teachers, we need to use group strategies. Why? To ensure all students can participate in activities with minimal disruptions, proper guidance, and supervision. So, proper group organization helps cater the varying abilities of students that help them to create innate ideas. So, class, let's proceed to types of groupings. So, there are 6 types of groupings I have listed here. These are random grouping, interest grouping, ability grouping, grade grouping, close age, and friendship grouping. But I will only explain 4 out of the 6. So, the first types of groupings is random grouping. So, yes, Bentoy, can you read? Very good. So, random groupings allow students of different abilities, ages to collaborate, promoting idea sharing and completing tasks suitable for everyone in the group. So, the second one is interest grouping. Yes, Sir Belia, please read and share your thoughts. Very good. So, interest grouping, it enables students to work on topic they find most engaging. So, ensuring motivations and effective learning with backup option if too many choose the same topic. So, the third one, class, is ability grouping. Students with the same achievement level or abilities are placed in the same group. This allows them to focus on tasks best suited to their learning needs. So, class, ability grouping involves placing students with similar skills and achievement levels in the same group. Why? To ensure that they are working on tasks that match their abilities. For example, Teacher Chani might group students like Gador, Bentoy, Apa, Putot, and Danyo based on their math proficiency. So, assigning advanced students to recall or to tackle more complex problems, while those students who need more extra help should only focus the foundation concepts. Am I clear? Alright. So, the next one is grade grouping. Yes, Daniel, can you read what is grade grouping?
Students are grouped according to their grade levels. This method can be used when there are specific objectives for each grade.
So, grade grouping, it organizes students based on their grade levels on objectives specific to each grade. So, for example, in a mixed grade class, first, second, and third graders, each group would work on tasks that are tailored to their respective grades curriculum. So, the remaining 2 types of groupings will be discussed by my co-teacher and Umpan. That's all.